Hello there guys, my name is Dragonfly and welcome back to another spotlight for this week. Basically because of everything going on with planets and everything, I haven't really had chance to do a lot in terms of doing other things in Space Engineers besides spotlights, as well as building something for planets. So what I'm bringing to you today is called the Dragonfly Mark II, and it is another exploration ship. It's a small ship gone large, and it's by a guy called N8, who also has his own YouTube channel, so go and check him out. This build is seriously sick. By the looks of it, it's one of his first builds that he's really happy to show off, because he's got videos on it as well. And honestly, this build is one of the best stylized, designed and well functioning ships I have ever seen. I know I tend to say that a lot, but I honestly truly mean it with this one, because I haven't had any problems with it. You just have to make sure you press the right buttons and you're away with the fairies, really. So this craft is very, very large, as you can probably tell, and I love some of the systems that it supports. It has a really nice landing system that folds in the middle aisle. It also has a retractable and all that sort of stuff on the back, on the cargo section. But it also has a side opening hatch, which is really, really cool. And the way this thing operates with air is awesome. Also, it has this little one-man scout drone, which is completely bonkers and awesome, and it just looks so good. And the way it works and detaches from the ship is absolutely amazing. And again, just the style and the colours, it looks very, very simple, very futuristic space exploration sort of esque, and it really does look like something out of a film. So I'm just going to get rid of that, and we're going to fly over to the refueling station that he's also built for this craft. And the refueling station is basically just a bunch of arms that have solar panels on that can be redirected and turned around, and then some of these large sort of extendable arms that are there for attaching to ships, as well as some batteries and the like inside, as you can see inside. We're not going to have a look at that too much, we're just going straight into the ship. So let's get into it really, because I really want to show you guys the inside, because there is a lot to function and show off in this. So I'm just going to turn my crosshair on so I can actually see where the hell I'm pointing. So we come up to the back, and I'll show you the scout drone first. Now the scout drone is really easy to operate. What you've actually got is a button, and it extends and retracts. So when you extend it, it brings the ship out. When you retract it, it brings it back in. The best part about this is all hooked up to the systems. It's all hooked up, so it's very, very easy to just deploy and collect back in. You don't have to park it very carefully within this gap in the back end of the ship. And of course, it's protected from whatever debris will hit the ship. So it's very nice and easily deployable, as well as it's very easy to operate when you're wanting to fly around and attach and detach. So the buttons on this are we have pistons on the scout ship to reverse and to toggle on and off. So I believe if I just check this out, I think what we'll do first is we will actually detach from the ship. So we'll hit 2. It does bounce around a little bit, but that's not too much of a problem. I'm going to turn that back on. I believe that button is for just extending and retracting and doing the finite adjustments. But overall, this thing flies pretty well. I'm unsure what that noise is coming from the back end of the ship, but it doesn't sound too good. But that was just when I turned the reactors on and off. So let's back this thing up and try and get it attached back on there. Now I'm really happy to see a ship like this, because with planets coming out, it will need some hydrogen thrusters to get it off, of the planet's surface. But with a few tweaks, you could really easily make this thing work really well with the new systems they're implementing tomorrow, which of course is the biggest update they've ever released. So I wonder what these buttons do. Okay, so these buttons are for just having your own control over the retracting and detaching of the ship. So we'll bring that back in. Now we do have the general functions on there, so there's nothing really too much, there's nothing too special on that. It's just a ship with the light so you can fly around. Now coming to the back, we have 2 buttons which allow for the cargo ramp to go up and down. We're going to go inside and close this so we can show it off from the inside. Now we hit this button, and this will close up the door Again, excuse that really weird noise. I'm still unsure what that is. But what will happen is you'll see this light at top, and it will go from red to green. So when it goes from red to green, that basically means you're okay to open the door, and it will actually turn this door on. And then you've also got this back door, which is, if I open this, where you'll find the reactor. And the reactor is spinning, and it looks fantastic spinning. It looks like the arc reactor off of Iron Man. When it's spinning around, he's got all these tubes and things, made it look as busy as possible. And there's a lot of detail, especially with these doors as well. I seriously need to find these doors on the workshop and get them for myself to use on ships, because these are fantastic. It's got a few details. He's only put a few things on the screen. Some of the screens may have bugged out a little bit because of it's just generally how they are normally. And we've got a lot of space, a lot of headroom. We can jump around a little bit in here. And we've just got some general cargo areas here, so if we were to put stuff in there, the cargo would go up and down with a percentage. Now we will go inside here, so we'll open this door and we'll just close it behind us as well. Now there are some cool little features in here. If we open up this hatch, what we actually have is just an area where we can operate the gravity and turn it on and off, which is a really nice feature to have. I like how it's got these sort of access maintenance hatches, which are really cool. They need a lot of space to work because of the doors, but they work really well nonetheless. So we have an airlock thing here that just says how much oxygen is in this room and all that gubbins, just to make sure we keep us safe. We do have, if I can open this, there we go. So we do have in here, we have this is the door to the outside, and this is really well done, because if you press this button it closes, the lights then go red rather than green, and then this door will swing open very nicely. And this was the door that's in vanilla, of course, been just brought into small ships, and we can get outside. And that is such a nice way of doing things. This is actually what this is the system that Wedgehog was trying to implement on his Buzz the other day, and I think he needs to have a look at this build just to take some of that and implement it into his ship, because this pod he could probably just take and use. But yeah, so this actually come up saying how much oxygen is in here and if you're safe to go, so you just basically can, you know, do that. There is a few issues where it thinks there's no oxygen in the room and will do the sequence where you well, you know, it all goes into anti-gravity and all that, which is a bit weird, but that is again down to the game and not the build itself. Now we have some lovely seats here where we can sit down, chill out, look outside through the windows, and they're really nice. I like the use of these corner lights. They are really, really nice, and again I need to find them on the workshop. I'll probably have to go through this and go through and get them. But here we have a bed, and what we actually have here is a bed light. So this is just a general person, so you've got the time and date with a few things there and some windows outside. Again, this is a general exploration vehicle, so don't expect it to be too heavily armoured. It doesn't have any guns, so just be aware of that really. And we do have the light switches here, which I'm just turning on and off. We have a bit of a first aid and crew quarters, so you can store things here, keep all your important stuff here, and you know, do all that gubbins. And then on the other side we have this lovely kitchenette, which I found to be completely life-changing. So we have like a grill here, we have an oven, and I need to find this as well, because somebody's gone through and modelled this, and it's a perfect thing for some of my ships, just to add that extra bit of flair and that extra bit of detail, and it's gorgeous. So you've got a kitchen there, and then as we move up, I'm just making sure not to miss any rooms. We have on the right side, we have a toilet with the toilet lights. Just got, you know, standard toilet and your sink. There's no shower. The shower's a bit further down. So if we actually close that, turn that off, here's the shower. So you have a lovely shower area here. Again, it does the weird oxygen thing where it thinks it's got no oxygen, which is a bit strange. That again, that is down to the game. So we have that there, and then these two shutters, if I do them both simultaneously, we actually have two more beds. So if you're on your own, you can, you know, get in on that. But if you were, say, carrying other people, you can open up these areas, and they can be like, you know, sterile, clean areas, and then, you know, you can allow people to sleep in here, and they're really, really well done. They're on a pedestal, so you can, you're off the floor, and then you've also got these lovely shelving units here and some screens. And that screen does have some woodland on, and this one doesn't, so I'm guessing that one's bugged out a little bit. But those are really, really nice nonetheless. We then have another door, which we can open, and then we close that via the panel. And then this door to the left is actually probably like the captain's quarters, or the special person's area, because you have that, you have a chest of drawers. Again, it's on a lovely pedestal, which just looks perfect there. And then you also have this bench here with a computer, so you can actually sit at a computer with a keyboard and start typing and whatnot. And it's just so cozy and perfect in every way. And I love it, absolutely love it. So what we'll do now is we'll open up this next door. We've just got a bit of a corridor here sort of thing, and then as we come down here, this is actually where the cockpit is. It's a bit of an off-centered cockpit, but again, it just works, and it honestly it does. I think there's a bit of an issue there with the mirroring effect, and maybe a little issue with the block is used, but either way, that doesn't retract from the general amazement of this build. We then have all details on oxygen and air vents, reactors, outputs, batteries, and all that sort of stuff on this one main wall, with a vent producing oxygen for this corridor. We then have these drums, which I'm guessing this would display some information. We can actually see up there if anyone's up there, so we can be a bit safe. We have this one seat down here, which is one of the pilots, and then we have another one here, which again I think this is the co-pilot, because that seat actually has a lot of buttons configured to it. But let me show you this. When you're sitting in these seats, look at the view you get. Look, honestly, it's just brilliant. I mean, could have got rid of the computers. I'm not really keen on having all these computers here, but look at the view. It's just miraculous and outstanding, and yeah, just love it. And it's just the way the pods are, and how much of a viewing angle you have in these seats. It's just mind-boggling. So before I go to the next seat and show you what the hell is going on in there, we actually have another door. Now this just gives you access to the program block, which is doing the cycle time and everything to make the LCDs work. We then have a bit more container storage, some of those ore detectors, and then we have some other things under the screens that are in red, which are for the maintenance person on board to look at. So that's really nice how he's actually separated the two cockpits up. Honestly, it's just mwah, it's just gorgeous. And then if we sit in this chair, we have all the controls. As you see here, just say reactors online and gears down and locked. Now if I were to click 2, the reactors will actually go offline, or should do. He says. I believe they've turned off. If I hit 1, it should turn back on. It can be a bit of a slow process. I don't know if the timing's a little bit out or it's quite a long process, but you have to wait a little bit. Or I broke it, either one. There we go. So it will turn off all the reactors and keep it in like a sleep mode, as some of mine have, like the Gallery and stuff. And then when you turn it back on, they go back on again. And then we have this lovely gear system, this piston system that he's got under here. Now what I'll do is I'll actually fly her up a little bit. I'm going to hit number, I think it's 3. There we go. So what these do is they actually fold in. So you've got the pistons that, they come in together. I think I've got them turned off. Yeah. So I think I'm actually going to break it. Yeah. So I actually broke it because you can confuse it quite easily. If I hit 3 again, there we go. So that's what we want to happen, but with the 5 going inwards. And what these will do is they will actually fold up into place, and they stay like that basically, and they tuck in and they lock. And it is gorgeous when you don't, because he gives you overrides to move the pistons in and out and stuff. and sometimes it can confuse them just a tiny bit. But when they're in, because of the update as well, they are really solidly compact in there, and it's great. We also have some lights on the side which just illuminate the Dragonfly signs. If I hit 7, it illuminates them. And then that is generally it. I love the main design of the ship. It does fly at a fair pace. It's just an exploration vehicle. It's not meant for speed. But overall, I am completely overwhelmed by the amount of detail that's gone into this. And what we'll do now is actually bring out those landing gears again. And those will... there we go. So they're back in working form again. So, yeah. This is the craft. Again, I keep looking at exploration vehicles, but with planets literally tomorrow, like a day, less than a day away, it's honestly making me giddy, and looking at all these ships really does make me happy to see that people are going to nail it when it comes to building ships. Again, this is with mods, admittedly, but you know, planets will allow for mods, so let it happen. And you know, I mean, we can see some of the epicosity that people keep producing, because honestly, I cannot wait. I'm like a child in Toys R Us. I just cannot wait. It's yeah. I'm just literally. It gives me shivers just thinking about it. Let's put it that way. So that has been the Dragonfly Mark II exploration ship by N8. Thank you, N8, for building this. It's been a treasure to look at. And again, my only downside is some of the colours can look a bit plain, but I can see why, and the style you're going with, that is kind of the style. And it's very futuristic space, which is quite nice. And yeah, thank you ever so much for watching, guys. If you have enjoyed, please go and check out this build on the workshop. Go and check it out and seriously have a play with it yourself. It's so good to play around with. Again, without the hydrogen thrusters, I think it will struggle, but I think with a Mark III maybe he could get it working pretty well on planets. So if you guys have enjoyed, please like, favorite, and of course subscribe for more, and I will see you guys tomorrow when planets will ultimately arrive. Peace.